Hi Year 7, I hope you're all well. Today we're going to have a look at understanding the process of longshore drift. On Show My Homework, I've put a worksheet for you to either print off, you can complete it online, or you can just do it as you will on a piece of paper, just for you to make notes as we go along through this PowerPoint. It just helps you to structure the lesson a little bit better. So let's have a look at longshore drift. So first of all, what do you notice about these two waves? What do they look like they're doing? You can see here that they are carrying material. So it's that murky, that dirty look of the water that suggests that it's carrying lots of material, it's transporting material. So quick reminder on the 4 transportation processes. So you've got traction, think of it like tractor wheels, they're large pebbles that are rolled along the seabed. Saltation are smaller pebbles and they bounce along the seabed. Suspension is what causes that murky, dirty looking water, and that's fine sediment like sand that's just carried in suspension along with the water. And then solution is the dissolved material that you can't see, that's invisible. Okay, quick recap for what this picture is showing. So if you remember, swash is the approach of the waves onto the beach at an angle, so it's at a 45-degree angle. So when a wave breaks, it rushes up the beach at an angle, and this is a swash. And then the backwash pulls the water back down, and it pulls it back down at a 90-degree angle to the beach, so it's straight back down by gravity, and this is the backwash. So the process of swash and backwash are part of this process called longshore drift, and this process can cause erosion in one place and deposition in another. So you've got the swash, so all the waves approach the beach at a 45-degree angle, and this is the swash. So this means material suspended in the wave is carried up the beach in that angle. So that wave that you saw, them waves that you saw at the beginning with that material, they're approaching the beach at a 45-degree angle through swash, and they're carrying that material up with it. Then backwash pulls the wave back down back through the force of gravity at a 90-degree angle to the beach. This means material is moved back down the beach in a straight line. So if that backwash is stronger than the swash, that means more material is going to be eroded. Whereas if the swash is stronger than the backwash, more material is going to be deposited. So the process of longshore drift is a movement of the material along the coastline through swash and backwash, and that continuum of swash and backwash. And that's the direction of that longshore drift. So here's just a little flowchart explaining the process of longshore drift. So it's a continuum. Longshore drift of that material, of a rock, might stop if the coastline sort of changes shape. But otherwise it's a continuum, and it'll be happening along that coastline. So the waves approach the beach at a 45-degree angle, that's swash. So as the wave breaks, the swash carries material up the beach. It might deposit it, but then the backwash will take some of the material back away because of gravity. So this means that the material moves along the beach in a zigzag. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to create a storyboard explaining how a rock moves along the coastline through longshore drift. Okay, so I've put together a bit of a PowerPoint, some animations of Pablo the pebble to help you with this storyboard and explaining longshore drift. So the story begins at Dorset Coast, where Pablo is part of the headland. So he's actually a rock on this cliff on this headland. Hydraulic action, which is a type of erosion where the waves crash against the rock and weaken the cliff face over time. That'll cause the rock to fall into the sea. So Pablo's eroded. While Pablo's in the water, it's suspended in the water. Then Pablo will collide with other rocks through attrition, so another erosional process. So attrition is when the rocks smash together and they erode each other. They make these jagged angular pieces more smooth and rounded. So Pablo then becomes smoother, so it becomes more pebble-like. So he was this angular rock that was eroded off the cliff through hydraulic action. He then was suspended in the wave and was hitting other rocks called attrition, and now he's smooth and rounded. So the wind blows over the wave and moves Pablo towards the beach at a 45-degree angle. This is called the swash. So now Pablo's on the beach. He's been put there through swash at a 45-degree angle because the wind's blown over and created this wave. Then under the force of gravity, Pablo will move back down the beach in a straight line. This is called the backwash. Okay, this process then continues. Another wave's going to come and put Pablo back up the beach. And then backwash through gravity is going to pull Pablo back down the beach. So this is a process of longshore drift, and backwash occurs at that 90-degree angle to the beach. And Pablo is now back in the water. This process continues along the coastline until there's a change in the shape of the coast. So there's been a change in the shape of the coast. You can see here that it's changed shape. So Pablo's stuck here. He might have come all the way down this coastline, zigzagging through longshore drift. And now the coastline's changed shape. So Pablo's stuck here as longshore drift cannot carry him around this changing shape of the coastline. So what I want you to do is create a storyboard and try and include as many key terms as possible. Okay, so your storyboard I've put on Show My Homework, it's on the worksheet, and I've also put the PowerPoint slide up as well. What I want you to do is try and use the words in the orange box to help you with the story. So I've put for each different section of the story, I want you to use these keywords. And here, so there's 6 different pictures, and I want you to try and include the keywords in the right-hand column to help you with your story. Okay, don't forget to upload everything to Show My Homework, and then there'll also be a quiz to complete. Please can you upload everything onto Show My Homework before you complete the quiz, so I can see that you're completing your work and then doing the quiz afterwards. It's really important that you do the quiz after you've completed all your work to show that you made progress. So thank you for watching, and I hope that that's okay. If you've got any problems, just let me know.